Okay. Now is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So where is the
See,
can you see my screen?
Not yet, ma'am.
Not yet.
Yes, yes. Now you can. Yes, now.
Okay. So till last class, where we have covered the tongue, right? And salivary glands and pharynx. Now we are going to cover stomach. My screen is visible properly, right?
yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we will start today from stomach. So continuous with esophagus, a cardiac sphincter, and with duodenum at the pyloric sphincter. Means stomach having two sphincters in its two end. At the beginning, where it is connecting with esophagus, at that end, it is having cardiac sphincter. We have already discussed what is a sphincter, right? Anyone? What is a sphincter?
It's like a
Ma'am.
flap covering the entrance.
Yeah. Go ahead, Sarika.
It's like a
Means
flap which is covering the entrance.
it's not like a flap. It's like a door, and it is always closed, but sometimes it is open due to body's need.
Okay.
Okay, so it's a muscular structure, and it's a door. It closes from all the slides or all the sides, and it opens for particular timing. And the stomach is j-shaped with two curvature, lesser curvature and greater curvature, divided into three regions. What are those three regions of stomach? Fundus, body, and pylorus. That is why the last sphincter, where the stomach is entering, means and stomach is connecting into small intestine, at that part pyloric sphincter is present. Okay. So gastric juice and functions of stomach are, means this gastric juice is produced by stomach, mix the food mixed with gastric juice, where churning action of gastric muscles forms into liquid acidic chyme, and via pyloric sphincter passes to duodenum. Means stomach is producing gastric juices. And what is the very important and main secretion of stomach? Anyone?
Hydrochloric acid.
Very good. HCl or hydrochloric acid is produced by stomach. And some more gastric juices and enzymes are secreted by stomach. So all these gastric juices mix with food by churning action of gastric muscles. So gastric muscles mean muscles inside stomach. They they squeeze and relax, means contract and relax. That action is known as churning action. And they mix the acidic secretions with food, and the final product is known as chyme. Okay, when the food is mixed with acidic juices, that product is known as chyme. And when it is well mixed, then via pyloric sphincter, that time only pyloric sphincter will open up and it will pass to duodenum. Duodenum is the first part of small intestine. Okay, we will go through picture, then you will understand the concept properly. Now here you can see here in this picture, let me take the pencil. Here you can see this portion is last part of esophagus, right? And here this is the portion where cardiac sphincter is present. Means this whole portion is the cardiac sphincter, and the uppermost portion or head of stomach is known as fundus, and the middle portion is known as body, and the last portion is known as pyloric antrum or pylorus. So, when the stomach is ending, that portion is known as pyloric antrum or pylorus. So, the stomach is connecting with small intestine, right? This part is small intestine, and this is the starting part of small intestine known as duodenum. Duodenum is the starting part of small intestine. Okay, so when where the stomach is connecting with small intestine, in that portion here also you can see a sphincter known as pyloric sphincter. Okay, so when food is coming from esophagus, then cardiac sphincter is opening and food is entering to stomach. So when food get entered, after that stomach produces so many juices from its wall. So those juices mix with the food in the stomach by churning action, means the walls inside stomach, they contract and relax, and they form a wave like structure, like just like in just like in sea. In sea, waves are coming throughout the day. Like that only, waves are produced in inside the stomach, and due to those waves, food and gastric juices get mixed, and that mixture is known as chyme. And when it is well mixed, then here pyloric sphincter open up, and that mixture further proceeds to duodenum, which is the first part of small intestine. Okay, is the concept clear?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
And the greater curvature and lesser curvature, you can see this curvature of stomach is lesser curvature, and this curvature of stomach is greater curvature. about 2 liters gastric juice secreted daily by stomach. And we have also seen a numeric data in case of saliva. What was that for a day?
1.5 liters.
Yes, very good. 1.5 liters of saliva is produced daily by salivary glands, and 2 liters of gastric juices. All these are approximate, right? So, about 2 liters of gastric juices are secreted daily by stomach, which consist water, minerals, hydrochloric acid, pepsinogens, etc. Okay. Next is secretion of gastric juice. We all gastric juice present in stomach even when it contain no food known as juice, always containing some quantity of gastric juice even though we are not eating. Means it's not like that, like when we will eat and after that only it will secrete, otherwise it will not secrete throughout the day. But yes, if you have a good eating habit, means if you are eating daily in a particular time, so it will be good for your gut health or for your whole body, because stomach will have its particular time to produce particular type of juices at, at that particular quantity. So means it's like that when you know that this guest is coming to you to your home at this particular time every day, so it become easy for you, right? You properly get up and you properly decorate your house or home. You properly get all the work done in time, so it becomes easy. So that, like that only, when we are eating, we are having a good eating habit, we are eating properly in a particular time every day, that becomes easy for stomach and it produces all the necessary juices properly. Next is secretion reaches at maximum after 1 hour of meal. Okay, so when we are taking food, when we are consuming food, after 1 hour of that, the secretion of gastric juices reaches its maximum. Next is decline to fasting level after about 4 hours. Means the maximum or peak position of gastric juices becomes normal, or it declines at the normal of that fasting level, which is always remaining in the stomach. That level comes after 4 hours, and that is why yoga practice is always recommended after 4 hours of eating. Okay, so this is the science behind gap of 4 hours after eating, because after, till 4 hours of eating, stomach is filled with food. So if you do yoga practice, then you can understand what can happen. Next is 3 phases of secretion of gastric juices. Cephalic phase. What is cephalic phase? Before food reaches due to stimulation by sight, smell or taste. So these are the phases how gastric juice can be secreted. So first of all, gastric juice can be secreted due to cephalic phase. What is that? When food is not reached, we have not consumed food, but due to its smell, its sight, or taste. Like if I talk right now for a tasty breakfast, like something, it depends upon everybody's own self what is tasty for them. So if I talk about now rasgulla, so some people are there, by the name of rasgulla they are getting stimulated, the mouth is getting watered by salivary glands. So that is cephalic phase, where by seeing the food or by smelling the food, like sometimes we get a very good smell from kitchen, mom is cooking something delicious. So that smell makes us stimulated. And sometimes by sight, means by seeing that food. So that is cephalic phase, means we are not having food, but due to other sensory organs we are getting the feeling of food. That is cephalic phase. Next is gastric phase. Presence of food in stomach pylorus stimulates secretion of hormone gastrin by G cells in the lining of stomach and duodenum in blood that stimulate gastric glands in stomach to produce more gastric juice. Okay, so this is the phase where we are having food in our stomach. Means stomach means food has reached the stomach, and now when it is heating the pylorus, then it is producing hormone, gastrin hormone, by G cells, means G cells in stomach producing gastrin hormones. So this is the gastric phase, means in this phase food has reached to stomach, that is why hormones are and gastric juices are produced. Next is intestinal phase. Partially digested food reaches to small intestine. Two hormones release secretin and cholecystokinin. Then slow down the secretion of gastric juice and targets gallbladder to contract and release the bile juice into the intestine. So what happens when the food has reached the stomach and stomach has done its work properly, so the semi-digested food, that chyle, is now being released to small intestine, right? So in small intestine, semi-digested food will be digested properly through this cholecystokinin and secretin. And here in small intestine, one more interesting thing will happen, that is gallbladder will release bile juice. And where this bile juice is being secreted?
Small
Where?
intestine.
No, anyone else?
Liver, ma'am. Liver.
Yes, very good. Bile juice is being produced by liver, and this bile juice is stored by gallbladder. Okay, so what is the role of liver and gallbladder in digestive system? You can now understand. Liver is producing bile juice, that is very, very, very important for digestion. And this bile juice is stored in gallbladder. Now, in particular time when food is reaching to small intestine, that is duodenum, that time gallbladder contracts and releases the stored bile juice to duodenum. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So now, digestion time. So it is shown here that digestion of carbohydrates takes less time than protein than fat. Means in these three, fat takes most of the time. Means fat takes comparatively more time to digest than protein and carbohydrate, and carbohydrate takes comparatively lesser time than protein and fat. Now we will come to small intestine. So food has come to small intestine now. Continuous with stomach at pyloric sphincter, it leads into large intestine at ileocecal valve. Means this line is saying it is continuous with stomach from pyloric sphincter. Means stomach is ending at pylorus, and then pyloric sphincter, then duodenum starts. Right. So from duodenum, small intestine is starting and it is ending at the ileocecal valve or ileocecal sphincter, where it is connecting to large intestine. Right. When small intestine is ending at the ileocecal sphincter, and at that point large intestine is starting. We will go through the picture, then we will get the concept properly. And the length of small intestine is almost 5 meter, and diameter is almost 2.5 centimeter. Okay, so you can imagine 5 meters long. Even our length is not of 5 meter, means our height is not of 5 meter, right? Means sometimes, not always. People are also very long. Means you can understand 5 meter is such a long distance. So small intestine is lengthy of about 5 meters, and its diameter is about 2.5 centimeter. So it lies in abdominal cavity surrounded by large intestine. Digestion of food complete in small intestine and absorption starts. Okay, so digestion of food gets completed in small intestine. And here in small intestine, absorption and assimilation takes place. Absorption means the absorption of nutrients, means the food has broken down into its finest parts. Okay, food has broken down into its finest parts, and now the small intestine absorbs the necessary nutrients, and from small intestine nutrients get mixed with blood, and from here the whole body is getting nutrients through blood. Next parts of small intestine are duodenum, that is 25 centimeter long, C-sept around the head of pancreas. So duodenum is 25 centimeter long, that is the first part of small intestine, and it is C-sept, which is present around the pancreas. The common bile duct carries bile from liver, and pancreatic duct carries digestive enzyme from pancreas enter duodenum. So let me go to the picture and see if it is. No, it's not here. It's also not here. It is also not very clear here. Let's go to this picture only. You can see my screen and the picture clearly, right? Here. So, food is coming from esophagus here, you can see. And it is entering to stomach here. The um, those contraction or churning action is taking place. Food is converted into chyme, and then it is coming to small intestine. This portion is known as pylorus. And sorry, this portion is known as pylorus or pyloric antrum. Then here pyloric sphincter is present here, and then this portion of small intestine is known as duodenum, which is covering the pancreas. You can see here this yellow colored organ is pancreas, and here you cannot see the pancreas properly because half of the portion of pancreas is behind stomach. Means all the organs are overlapped here, you can see. The place is less and organs are more in abdomen. So here you can see it's liver, the largest organ of body. Okay, liver is the largest um, gland of body, not organ, largest gland of body. So liver is secreting bile juice, and then the bile juice is stored in gallbladder. This green colored gland is known as gallbladder. Now here you can see gallbladder. The one duct is connected to liver. From gallbladder, one duct is connected to liver here, and one duct is connected to small intestine. You can see here in this picture. Gallbladder means one duct is connected to liver and one duct is connected to small intestine. So when liver is secreting bile juice, it is stored in gallbladder, and when needed, gallbladder is releasing the secreted means stored bile juice into small intestine or duodenum. And not only these, secretion from pancreas or pancreatic juices are also mixed in duodenum only. Okay, so in duodenum, how many things are getting mixed? Chyme from stomach, bile juice from gallbladder, pancreatic juice from pancreas. These many three things are getting mixed in duodenum. Now, small intestine is 5 meter long and 2.5 centimeter of diameter, and it is highly coiled in abdominal cavity. And here you can see it is, this one is large intestine. So small intestine is getting covered large. Okay, and here you can see, you cannot see here properly. Let me. So this portion is shown here in a simplified version. This is the portion. This portion is seen here simplified version. So the small intestine is getting connected with large intestine in here you can see uh, here you can see this portion is connecting small intestine and large intestine. So this portion is containing ileocecal valve and ileocecal sphincter, and so it seems like this. The structure seems, and then three parts of large intestine is there. Three parts of large intestine are there. Means large intestine is divided into three parts. You can see here. This portion is known as ascending colon. Means large intestine is also known as colon. Okay. So this portion is known as ascending colon. This portion is known as transverse colon. And this portion is known as descending colon. Okay. Okay. So we were here in three parts of small intestine, right? So first part is duodenum, second part is jejunum, middle part that is 2 meter long, and third part is ileum. And where the small intestine is meeting with large intestine, that portion is known as cecum. So that is why the connecting point is known as ileocecal. Ileum is the last part of small intestine and cecum is the starting part of large intestine. That is why the valve or the sphincter between them present is known as ileocecal valve and ileocecal sphincter. If you could remember, we have also read ileum in our previous classes. What was that?
Hip bones.
Yes, very good. So, ileum was also named on hip bones, and ileum is also the last part of small intestine. What are the function of small intestine? Function of small intestine are absorption of nutrients. Uh, I'm sorry if you are getting outside noises. Are you getting outside noises?
Now, no, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Earlier it was there.
Okay. If you are getting, then I'm sorry for that because kids are present in this home, so they will make noise. I cannot do anything for them. So let's go to the functions of small intestine. The main function of small intestine is absorption of nutrients, and next is complete chemical digestion of carbohydrates, fats, and protein in villi. Now, here villi is very important part of small intestine. Villi. Can you remember villi?
Yeah, they are.
Yes.
They help to move the food, no, ma'am.
Yes.
Absorption of nutrients.
Yes. Very good. And what was their structure?
Hairline structure.
Hair-like, ma'am.
Yes. Very good. So villis are present in the inner wall of small intestine. It's not present outside. In the inner inside of small intestine, in the inner walls of small intestine, villis are present. So villis are hair-like structured or finger-like projection, and these villis are mainly they are increasing the surface area. Okay, so when they are increasing the surface area, they are increasing the surface for absorption of nutrients. Okay, and also they are sometimes they are helping in moving the food, but the main function is absorption. They are widening the surface area, so they are increasing the surface area for absorption. Okay, so here you can see the picture, red colored stomach, yellow colored duodenum, and this blue colored jejunum, and violet colored ileum. So these colorful things are not present in our body. The whole thing is colored. Next is large intestine. So large intestine is about 1.5 meter long and diameter is about 6.5 centimeter. So you can see here, small intestine is much more longer than large intestine. But name small and large is given by its diameter. Diameter of small intestine was, what was the diameter of small intestine?
I don't
Yes,
remember, ma'am. 1.5 or 2.5.
it was
2.5.
2.5. Okay, so diameter was 2.5 and diameter centimeter. It begins at cecum, means large intestine begins at cecum and terminate at rectum and anal canal. Okay, cecum is the first part, dilated region below ileocecal valve, and there are four parts of large intestine. We have already seen in figure the ascending, transverse and descending colon, and after descending colon there is a sigmoid colon where it is connecting to rectum. So what is rectum? Rectum is dilated part leads from sigmoid colon to anal canal, and anal canal is a short passage about 3.8 centimeter long from where the stool is getting passed. Two sphincters are present for muscle control in anus, internal sphincter and external sphincter. So this external sphincter is made up of skeletal muscle and we can control this skeletal muscle. So we can control this external sphincter. So what are the functions of large intestine? In large intestine also some of the parts getting absorbed, and mainly what is getting absorbed from large intestine. And here in large intestine mass movement takes place and defecation is part of this large intestine only. Defecation of stool. Okay, so food is getting converted into stool in large intestine and it is getting defecated when it is passing through rectum and anal canal. Here you can see it clearly.
Ma'am, do we
Here.
need to study everything in this much detail, ma'am?
Just remember the concept and terminologies. It's not that hard. Just get the concept and terminologies. It's not that hard. And we cannot believe the UGC NET nowadays because they are going very deep nowadays.
Okay,
So
ma'am.
just get the concept. It's not that hard. If you are getting the concept, then it is very, very easy. So here this is a small intestine and it is connecting with large intestine. Here you can see this is the cecum portion. So small intestine is getting connected with a large intestine in cecum portion, and this is very important organ, appendix. Nowadays it's not important for medical science, but in some other therapies like acupressure and other therapies it has its importance, and it is said that appendix was working when we used to consume flesh of animals in forest in earlier times. So now sometimes appendix get problematic and it has to be removed. So leave it. Now this small intestine is entering to large intestine in cecum. Then this is ascending colon. You can see here. This is transverse colon and this is descending colon. Okay. Now the here descending colon is ending, means where the descending portion of colon is ending. After that, this small portion is known as sigmoid colon. Okay, this small portion is known as sigmoid colon, and here you can see rectum and then anal canal. Okay, so this is the whole structure of large intestine. So it's one left equal down.
Madam, your voice is breaking a lot.
Breaking now or it's broke throughout the class?
Now, madam.
At the end.
Okay, then no problem. You got the concept of large intestine when I was telling from the picture.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Jay.
Oh. So any problem, any doubt, any confusion?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay. So comfortably upright your spine, close your eyes, take a deep and long breath, and exhale completely all your regressions, all your tiredness. Now, adopt Namaskar Mudra in front of your chest. Inhale and start the prayer. सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामय सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति 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 Rub your palms, put those palms on your facial muscles, feel the warmth, feel the energy, and open your eyes with a smile. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.